in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. The Bengals 34-20 winners over the Arizona Cardinals, and Dave Lapham was on the call. Lap, the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase show is back in the NFL.
It certainly is. I mean, Jamar Chase targeted 19 times. When I talked to him in the post-game locker room show, and I said, man, you targeted 19 times. He goes, 19? He caught 15 of them, a club record, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had the touchdown pass of 63 yards. The ball was in the air from Joe Burrow, like 56, 57 of those yards. It was a heck of a play. And I'll tell you, another guy that I think needs to take a bow is Trenton Irwin. I mean, he was targeted 10 times, 8 catches for 60 yards. He blocked his tail off every time they ran a receiver screen that looked like he had a key block, and he returned punts, giving them field position, helped dictate positive field position. And in T. Higgins' absence, Trenton Irwin showed he's a pro's pro and stepped up and played big.
Yeah, I totally agree, complete. And also Joe Mixon ran the hard yards, 25 carries, 81 yards. But we have to talk about the defense again. Turnovers. Cam Taylor-Britt gets a big interception. Trey Hendrickson putting a lot of pressure on Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, Joshua Dobbs did not have an interception in the first 4 games of the season. And on a 4th down stop in the low red zone, actually inside the 5-yard line, the very, next couple of plays, Cam Taylor-Britt gets that pick 6. You talk about going from a low, the emotions, the overall psyche of the football team would have been on a down going into the locker room. It goes as a high after that pick 6 by Cam Taylor-Britt, and that's the first interception that Dobbs has thrown all season long. And you're right, I thought the pressure was consistent on Dobbs, and Trey Hendrickson, another 2.5 sacks. If not for penalties that took sacks away, the dude would have double-digit sacks. I mean, he'd be leading the National Football League now. He is coming off that edge in a very, very serious manner.
As a team, 380 total yards, 27 first downs, 79 total plays. Time possession, 38 minutes and 10 seconds for the Bengals. This is what we wanted to see all season long. And Joe Burrow all week said, hey, I'm feeling the best I've felt all year. And he showed it on the field because, like I said, 34, 46 for 317, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And that interception really was Trenton Irwin fell down and was tangled up, got his feet tangled up with the defender. Not his fault, really, on that interception. And the thing that impressed me most early on that I saw was this is the Joe Burrow. When we started looking at how he throws the football, the velocity on the football was the best I've seen all season.
Well, and I think his movement, I mean, I watched him warm up in the pre-game. He went out on the football field, and he was doing semi-rolls right, semi-roll left, total bootleg right, total bootleg left, and he was simulating climbing the pocket and doing some, short space quickness, explosive stuff. And I'm like, whoa, look at this. And then as he's going off the field, he does this, jackhammer stuff with his feet, the foot fire, moving his feet as quickly as he possibly could. And you saw him doing that, out there on the football field a couple of times in the pocket. He was really, really moving his feet extremely well. He did that 360 to get away from pressure. I mean, movement was a part of his game now in this football game, as opposed to, the first 4 weeks of the season, not so much, obviously. And what a difference it made in terms of, getting opportunities and buying a little bit more time and then hitting guys in their routes. It was night and day, and that's what you have to have, and that's what you have to do to compete in the National Football League the way you want to compete. And Joe said he put it on the team, basically on himself and on the team, when he said on Wednesday, this is a must-win. I mean, the question was asked, and he answered it before the question was even finished. Is this a must? Yep. Yes, it is. It's a must-win situation. And so he responded, the team responded, and in talking to guys in the locker room after the game, and Zach Taylor as well, they really didn't know that the Pittsburgh Steelers had beaten the Baltimore Ravens. They weren't doing any scoreboard watching. So now they find themselves a game out. They got the Seattle Seahawks at home before the bye week. They could go into that bye week. Worst case scenario, if they get a W, 3-3, 1 game out, and it could be even better than that. So here they are again.
How big would it be for this team to be 3-3 at the bye week? Because, I mean, as we talked about after last week's game, it didn't look good. but things are looking brighter and rosier for what the future brings. With, as you said, the Seahawks come to town, a team you can't take lightly, but the Bengals have had success against those NFC teams.
Yeah, look at how badly Pittsburgh played last week, and then look how they turned it around. I mean, Mike Tomlin's like, it's all about physicality. It always will be, and he put them through a tough week of practice. And we've already talked about, Denver getting blown out by 70-20 by the Miami Dolphins, and then Dolphins go to Buffalo and they get blown out 48-20. So there's no doubt that this National Football League, 17 one-week seasons, and what you do now with this victory, just like last week's loss, you learn from it, compartmentalize. Learn from this, compartmentalize, because they have another one-week season against the Seattle Seahawks, who are playing, pretty darn good football before they go to their bye week.
Something that's going to go totally off the grid. It was talked about in Zach Taylor's press conference. Lassiter got playing time, got a catch. Had to be a very emotional minute for him to get that catch in Arizona, where his dad played. Talk a little bit about just what he's brought to the table as he steps in and tries to fill the void.
Yeah, I mean, that's everybody understands the history there. I mean, he lost his dad at a very, very young age. His dad played in the NFL, for 10 seasons, and this was where his dad made his mark. And for Kwame to come back here and be elevated from the practice squad to the 53-man roster and actually get on the field and have a catch, I mean, everybody was excited for that opportunity. And honestly, he will never forget this the rest of his life. And when you can have moments like that, and be part of it, be out in the football field when those kind of things occur, that's what, this playing this sport is all about. That's what being teammates are all about, and relationships that you build with your teammates and your coaches are all about. It's a unique experience. There's no question about it.
You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. Remember to take part in First Star Logistics giveaway every week when the Bengals play. Dave, you've had the pleasure to see every great wide receiver come through the Bengals. Isaac Curtis, the Chad Johnson, who's now in the Ring of Honor as well. A.J. Green, you can go on and on, the Collinsworth and so forth. Jamar Chase is leaving a mark on this franchise.
He is. I mean, he is such a unique blend of so many things. I mean, I think, honestly, he's the most powerful wide receiver they've ever had here physically. I mean, I think he could be a damn good running back, honestly, in the National Football League. He's got that kind of ability and that kind of power and that kind of strength. And but then he'll go out there and run incredible routes, very strong hands. It's hard to, separate him from the football when he gets two hands on it. He's, uber competitive. And the other thing about him, we talked about it in the post game. I said, how many different places did you line up today, and how many different ways were you used? He started rattling them off. He got up to about 7 or 8. And he said, yeah, the only thing I didn't do today was take a handoff from the running back position. He said, I got to work on that, see if I can get that done. But this guy is as sharp mentally as he is dominant physically. And when you have a combination like that, somebody that is that gifted in both areas, a lot of guys are gifted physically, but they don't have the mental capacity. This guy has both at an extremely high level, a Hall of Fame type level. This guy's a freak, man.
Lap, I know we got to let you go to get on the bus to get back home to Cincinnati. Your final thoughts of this team going forward as another game, as we said, the Seahawks, then a bye.
Yeah, I mean, obviously dug a hole they didn't necessarily want to dig, but this one was huge. You gotta get back on track, and everybody knows what the AFC North is going to be about. Every division game is going to be a dogfight. Every game is going to be a dogfight. I mean, they expected this to be a one-score differential in this football game, and that's life in the National Football League. And these guys understand it. They have a lot of guys that have now experienced it at a very high success rate for the last couple of years, and they're going to be fine.
He is Dave Lapham. You've been in the trenches, presented by First Star Logistics. A reminder, please take part in the great giveaways First Star Logistics is doing every week the Bengals play the season. Lap, safe travels back to Cincinnati. We'll see you this week in the trenches.
Thanks, Dave.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realized self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team. Hello, everyone. Dave Lapham here. Hope you're excited for what is sure to be another thrilling Bengals season. We look forward to another year of In the Trenches presented by First Star Logistics, but we wanted to give you some big news. This season, you'll find our interviews and keys to Bengals victory on In the Trenches and the First Star Media Group YouTube channel, along with our growing team of Joe Goodberry, Bengals on the Brain, and Malik Wright, State of the Jungle. Also, the great folks at First Star Logistics have big plans this season with special giveaways each week the Bengals play. So be sure to visit both channels and our social media pages to stay updated on all giveaways and the latest news on the Bengals. So be sure to subscribe to the First Star Media Group YouTube channel, as after this season, it'll become the channel that will host all our content.